Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the Morning, 15 minutes to change our lives. In the middle of, the beginning of Kuntres. This Shiur is generously sponsored by Anonymous. Living Chassidus thanks this amazing Anonymous sponsor and wish her family abundant atzlacha and brachos ad b'lidai. And, of course, for the Yidden and Eretz Yisrael and the soldiers going out to fight the battle. We're fighting a battle with Yetzer Hara and Nefesh Bahamas, and they're fighting the battle with the terrorists. Mitzvah Hashem, through our learning and the source of our learning, we should have enough of this and enough and already Geula. We had enough of Golos. And we're going to do our part with this learning and this internalizing. So we started to discuss in the second minor about the Yetzer Hara coming to us to do things that are awesome. So in the first minor we talked about there's a shtus that's turning us away from the derech hayashar, and the Yetzer Hara comes and he comes and confuses us and he gets us in trouble for it. And we talked about different types of pleasure and the highest forms of pleasure we should have, of godliness, of godly ideas, of learning, and connecting, those types of things. And now we're starting to talk about what about the Yetzer Hara? What about the problem the Yetzer Hara comes and gets us to do things which are against the Torah? And that's what we talked about. And we said, how does the Yetzer Hara do it? What's the Munas of the Yetzer Hara? What's his trick? What's his specialty? He doesn't come and tell us, go against Hashem. He says, do this a little bit, do this. So I want to do everything the way it should be. A little less. Not even that. It's just whatever. It's like I should get on time. No, you don't have to. We're going. You know, I should daven now. Just let me finish this little article. Let me finish just one more thing, and that's how he gets us slowly, until we're doing something totally awesome. And you ask yourself, but the big challenge is we don't notice it. But if we get a chance to notice it, you also say, hey, how did I get here? It's like, what? It's the little things, and that's the way we're saying. And we sort of, yeah. And then we said also the fact that it weakens, that the problem is you have a counterbalance. You have the Nefesh Bahamas on one side, Nefesh Lakis. The strong Nefesh Lakis, the lower the Nefesh Bahamas. On the other hand, the strong Nefesh Bahamas, lower the Nefesh Lakis. The less control. They're vying for control over you. And the more one has control, the less the other has control. You don't have both. So on one hand, we said we have a Nefesh Bahamas could be very strong, and that's pulling us to do all these things. And it's what it is. It's hard. But then there could be another issue that it's not the Nefesh Bahamas pulling us. It's just we're feeding the Nefesh Bahamas. We're not sanctifying ourselves with what is permissible. We're not saying just because it's kosher, should I really do this? Do I really need this? Is this what's going to help me? And if we don't do that to ourselves, we don't try to be offensive with what we do. So then we feed the Nefesh Bahamas, it becomes stronger, wants more and more. It's like, I remember one time I was in shul, over here in Crown Heights, it was the Mayinot shul, and there was a guy, he came, he was, I don't know his whole story, but he wasn't fully from yet. And he said to me, he goes, I'm thinking I'm going to take on achlata to keep Shabbos. It's hard for me, but I think I'm going to try to do it. And when I heard that, I was like, whoa. Like, I never had a shayla. I don't have that shayla. That doesn't exist for me. I was married or whatever already. It's like keeping Shabbos is not like, I'm like, wow, that guy's struggle with the Yetzer Hara by keeping Shabbos. My struggle Baruch Hashem is not that. But the point that's where he's holding. And the more he listens to Nefesh Lakis and the less he feeds Nefesh Bahamas, the less of a struggle that will be, and he'll have a higher level struggle because the Yetzer Hara keeps on going, but it'll be a much higher level. But if on the other hand, if I would listen to Nefesh Bahamas all the time and feed it and do the wrong things, and the more I would feed it, the lower I'd get. So Chas Hashem could be in that situation. That would be a shayla on Shabbos. That's what we have to understand within ourselves, how this thing works. Now let's try to finish the first parak in this maimon. Also, the fact that the fear of Hashem, seemingly, if it's an Aveira, why would I do it? I don't want to go against Hashem. So how do we lose that? What happened because we even forget about godliness? To the extent that even though this is something that's against Hashem, it doesn't get in the way. It doesn't stop us from doing it. Meaning, we get to a point where we know it's the wrong thing. It's not that we forget. The Yetzer Hara gets us, so we don't realize. We just go and we don't think about it. But he comes. It's like the story that when I heard it was Ber Lazar. He was by a afruf. Someone's getting married, and this is something different for men and for women. When a man goes to get married, that one of the things that they're scared of, at least in my day, is they don't want to fall down in that level. For women, it's very different. They have a very different avodah. It's very different. And so they buy the afruf, and they said, what are you going to do to counteract this worry? So he was like, yeah, whatever. So as I said, you should make sure, to say Kriya Shema Shel Mitzvah every night. Kriya Shema Shel Mitzvah. So he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. So he said, we're going to get someone to come and check up on you. And a month from now, a month after your wedding, they're going to come and they're going to see what's going on with you. And he's like, okay, yeah. And he said, and if it's going to come the month and he's going to come speak to you and you're going to say you're not doing it, you're not doing Kriya Shema Shel Mitzvah every night. So he's going to tell you, you're a ferret, you're an animal, like we learned here. You gave in. And you're becoming like the animal, like we just, like the baseline type. You're not connecting with the godliness, like the highest levels that we talked about. And he's like, call me, it's not happening. So what happens? So the way the story goes, I'm not even sure if this is the true story, but I remember hearing this. Came a month later, the Bacher remembered. So he comes to his friend and he goes, no, how you doing? Baruch Hashem, it's good, it's good. So he goes, what's going on with your Kriya Shema Shel Mitzvah? Do you say it every night? So he's like, actually, no, I'll be honest, not always. So he told him, he goes, you're a ferret, you're an animal. So the guy answered him, so what's so bad about being an animal? And this is the problem. That's where the problem really is. It's bad enough we do the wrong thing, is when someone calls us out on it, or we realize it's wrong, or we got told it's wrong, but we're so low, it doesn't matter. And that's what he's talking about. Meaning, that it's against what Hashem wants, and it doesn't stop you anymore. Why? Because Hashem, godliness, and Hashem's wants is not felt. This problem is that it's not felt by us. We don't feel it anymore. We don't care about Hashem anymore. We lost that. We're losing that connection. Even though we don't, God forbid, deny the existence of God, and we know that Torah is true, and this is against Torah by doing this. But we don't feel it. We don't feel the issue. Yes, it's wrong, but I want to. Whereas the healthy mindset is how can I do that? It's against Hashem, and it feels uncomfortable. That's how it's meant to be. That with that feeling, would be able to overcome this taiva and hold ourselves back. But the person has lost that sensitivity. It's gone because it kept on feeding nefesh bahamis, and therefore that's what happens. It's not just, so I ate this, no problem, it's kosher. But if we're feeding it, it makes it harder to go and do the right things. And to the worst extent is when even when you know it's wrong, and this is also all this stuff is not like we have to learn how to internalize the message and not just take this clear-cut case. I never have this issue. We all do. We just don't recognize it. And we have it in a very subtle way. And that's sort of, we have to realize this. How does this come about? How do we get to that point? Well, we know it's wrong, we still do it anyway. It's because we constantly indulge in the taivas of hetem, permissible things. So that causes nefesh bahamis to become even stronger. And nefesh becomes weaker. And therefore, because the nefesh lakis becomes weakened, So therefore, when the Nefesh Bahamis comes and tells us, this is good, let's do this, this is yum, this is fun, this is good, it's a good idea to stay up late, it's a good idea to do this, whatever it is. Even though it will be something that's totally forbidden, he gets drawn after it and we fall for it. You know, it could be doing something wrong on Shabbos, and we know it's wrong on Shabbos. We're also against the Torah. But like, I need to do it. I need to pull my nail. It's annoying me. The lack of sensitivity for that is because of the constant feeding on Nefesh Bahamis. Whereas if you feed the Nefesh Chis more, we'll say, but I can't do that. It's against Hashem. When we feel it uncomfortable, we won't do it. But Zeh Muva B'Pashtus, and this understood very simply, Eich Hu Zeh Shem Mashter Shemashtes Atzmoi B'Tov Adavar Sharei Hu Ra Gamur. As we're going to explain, he has to realize this is what's descending us down and down and down. Just a quick idea. Like I speak to my kids sometimes. You ask them questions about things to make things more relatable. So I ask them questions about something, and they talk like it's a theory. So they give good answers. So I said to him, "But what about you? But I like." That's a nice answer. What about for you? How do you feel with it? How do you connect with it? So then he thinks like, well, it's like, how does someone do it on Avera? He tells me, like, person's like, I don't understand. The guys don't put in yarmulke. What I understand? He puts on tefillin. How does he not put on tefillin? How do you do all these things? Like, it's confusing. He's like, I'm like, what do you mean? He's Yetzer Hara. He doesn't know any better, whatever. Even when they knew, let's say it's a case someone knows better. I said, he's Yetzer Hara. So he goes, yeah, but it's a wrong thing to do. So I said to him, and do you do everything perfectly? You have anything wrong? Yeah. He thinks a second, and he's like, the same thing here. We're learning these things. We have to learn to think about how do I apply this into my situation. We all have this to a different level, different madrega, and how do I fit it in? Let's try to finish it off. However, in regards to things and holding ourselves back from something that's totally forbidden, there's another thing that gets in the way, which is so the first thing is we get the Nefesh Bahamis so strong that it fools us into doing it, and we like it too much. We don't care anymore. We lost that sensitivity. But another issue is that we feel and we confuse ourselves by thinking, I'm still good. Even if I do this, I'm still good. I'm always connected. Tehine b'neshamas Yisrael yesh teva nafsham she'enam yechein liyos nifardim elikus mishum ki'at avinu. Hashem is our Father, and by nature we can't separate ourselves from Him. That's the nature. Mishum zeh gam kal shebakalim, and therefore also the light is people that are totally disconnected. Even people that go against Torah, generally, he gives himself up to Hashem. Like we have unfortunately seen by people throughout this whole experience in Eretz Yisrael. I saw a video last night. Someone, like a WhatsApp status of this guy, was saying, thank you to all the anti-Semites. He goes, I was not connected to my Judaism at all. He goes, look at me, I'm full of tattoos. I had no connection before this. And all this anti-Semitism was brought out within me. It's like, I'm a Jew, and now I feel so connected with it, and I'm starting to do things. And you had all these stories, people trying to keep Shabbos now, and all these things, and like the amount of, why does this happen? It happens because a Jew doesn't want to be disconnected. And when things like that happen, they realize that, hey, I need to be connected. I'm not connected. So it pushes them because they can't be disconnected. So what happens the rest of the time? We don't feel there's anything wrong with the disconnection. We're not sensitive to it. Even to the extent they're going to lose our lives for Chas Shalom. A person who's going to have to die for being Jewish. We're never going to do Avodah Zarah. Because we can't separate ourselves from Hashem. It's impossible for us to separate ourselves from Hashem. But therefore, if we would recognize the action that we're doing, that is against Hashem, is separating ourselves, we wouldn't do this. So then how can we do it even though it's separating us from Hashem? Yetzer Hara fools us. Nevertheless, even with all this, we're still connected. You like everyone connected to Hashem. Not just says we're still connected, you'll be good. Like I said, like it says in the Torah, that he'll be blessed in his heart. Lamer, he'll say to himself, Shalom Yeli, it'll be good for me. I'll go according to what my heart desires. Even though I go according to what my heart wants, Shalom Yeli, you'll be good. I get the best of both worlds. Make the cake and eat it. And that makes us fall into a lot of things. What we're saying very simply is recognizing that when I do something wrong and I go against Hashem, I'm not talking about by accident. We know better, but we just see. I'm making a separation. I'm ruining the relationship. Now, of course, we learn Chassidus, and we never separated. That's on a deeper level. The simple example is like a child that misbehaves. Let's say you have a day, a child is behaving the worst. So what happens? So you're not happy with the child. That doesn't mean you're not in a relationship. It doesn't mean they're not your child anymore. You always stay your child, but the relationship is not in a proper healthy place. And so too with us and Hashem. If we're not doing Torah mitzvahs, we're doing Averis, and we're saying this, it's going to be good. You don't have a good relationship with Hashem there. Hashem's not excited. Does that mean he hates you? Doesn't want you to see it again? No. But that's not a proper relationship. That's not how we want. That's not how it should work. It's meant to work. And this is sort of what we're saying here. Just to finish off the kitzur. Nefesh b'hamis yesh shehu b'tevach halishus. We have nefesh b'hamis. Some people's nefesh b'hamis is very weak, very very docile, and it's good for you. V'yesh shehu b'tevach b'toikef. And then some nefesh b'hamis is very strong and very powerful and it wants everything. I should call Dava Taiva Haydu loy oise hakol b'shel lasigoy. Whatever desire it sees, it wants to do it and does everything it can to get it. Vafilu Taiva heter pa'amim rabbis, and even if something permissible, but we do it many times. Ma'aber she'ein pachalikim neged einov. It causes that we stop losing the fear of Hashem in our eyes, and it doesn't bother us. We're doing something wrong, like this guy. So what? So I don't do it. So I'm not animal. Who cares? You lose that sensitivity. And the Yetzer Hara fools us into thinking I can do whatever I want, do everything against Hashem, and He still loves me equally. Now again, of course, there's a deeper level of love that Hashem has for us, and Hashem loves us because we're coming from the highest of levels. But still, you have to be respectful of the relationship. And all of us, we should recognize all these things. And we should get ourselves to a little bit of a better place and appreciate the connection, relationship, and have an amazing day.